Blessings, everyone, and welcome to Body Rhythms. Today we're going to be talking about sleep deprivation. And this is going to be part one of another 3-part mini-series about sleep. Right now, sleep deprivation can be linked to poor quality of life. It can be linked to stressful relationships. It can also be linked to something like over 100,000 accidents annually and somewhere like 70,000 injuries per year and about 2,000 deaths per year. So that means that just by not getting enough sleep, someone has caused an accident or an injury to themselves or to someone else. Someone's relationship is under strain because they're not getting enough sleep, or someone's health is under strain because they're not getting enough sleep. With the health, there are so many health diseases and illnesses that are linked to lack of sleep, such as stroke, poor heart health, high blood pressure, obesity, ADD, also responsible for poor growth in children and in infants. It's also linked to depression and mental impairment, just to name a few things that it's actually linked to. So, how do you know if you are sleep deprived? Studies show us that the average person needs anywhere from 7 to 10 hours of sleep per night, with 7 being the lowest amount that we need to function optimally the next day. But time and time again, people just feel like, oh, I can get by with 5 hours, I can get by with 3 hours, because they're actually getting by with those many hours of sleep. But when you don't understand what takes place in your body when you're sleeping, there's where you tend to say, oh, I can get by, because you're not even understanding what it is that is going on in your body. I just wanted to share some indicators of whether or not you may be sleep deprived. The first is that you may always be hungry. When your body isn't able to get the energy that it needs to function through sleep, when it regenerates itself and proteins are produced and hormones are produced, giving the body signals and energy that it needs to function throughout the day, it starts to seek that energy somewhere else. So because it didn't get it from its own natural production of the proteins, it starts to crave food, because it knows that food is a source of energy. And so if you're constantly hungry, that may be your body's way of indicating that it needs energy and that it's looking for some energy sources, which then leads to gaining weight. When you don't sleep, you deprive your body of producing important hormones and proteins that are needed for the functioning of your body. And one of those hormones is the hormone that controls our appetite, that regulates our metabolism. And so without it, we're not able to stop eating, and we're not able to metabolize the foods that we are eating. So in addition to overeating, because our body is trying to compensate for the lack of energy, we are eating foods that are probably not very healthy for us, which is also another indicator, impulsiveness. When you don't sleep, your mind is not able to process things the right way the next day, because it's foggy, it's cloudy, it's tired. It's not able to look at things and assess the right way and make the right types of decisions. And so you might be a little impulsive. You might eat things that you know is not right for you. You might even say things that you know you would normally not say, because you might be a little more irritable. Without that sleep, like I said, certain hormones and proteins are not being produced in our bodies that keep our moods in check. Another issue that you may encounter is memory retention. You're just not able to remember things that you might have done that morning, or things that you might have done the day before, because if you didn't allow yourself to rest, the memory of the experience didn't get to retain in your brain. The other thing is that when you sleep, your brain replays experiences and skills that you may have learned during that day, and that's how you retain it, and that's how you're able to perfect it and carry it out the next day. The other thing is that when we're sleeping, our brain removes toxic molecules from itself. That's an opportunity for our brain to remove any toxic molecules. There's also brain function issues, your ability to make decisions. You might not be able to make decisions quickly because your brain, as I said, is like foggy, it's in a cloud, it's tired. And you might have issues with time management, things like that, being able to even solve any problems because you're not able to focus and assess the information properly. Another indicator could be that your motor skills are off. If you find that you're tripping or cutting yourself or bumping into things, making, silly mistakes, errors in writing, errors in reading, anything that you do every day in your job wise, and you find that you're making little slight errors, it's because your brain function is off. When you're tired, your brain is not able to pay attention to details the same way. You're not able to respond quickly. Your reflex time might be shortened, might be cut, or not even existing at all. That can cause you to trip, to hurt yourself. Your hand-eye coordination might even be off. Everything is going to be off. Another thing that lack of sleep affects is your emotions. Like I said, when we're asleep, there's so many proteins and hormones that are produced that help keep our moods in check, that help us assess a situation properly and respond to to emotional stimuli the right way. So that if you're tired, here's an example, like little kids. I always know when they're tired because they either get really, really crazy and they just start bouncing off the walls, or they get really, really emotional, and everything is an issue. And you're talking to them about, anything simple. You could say, oh, it's bedtime, and they're like, oh, I don't want it to be bedtime, and oh, I'm already tired. And it's like, yes, we know, we can see. And that also happens in adults as well. I know that for me and my family, there are some family members that when they're tired, they get goofy as ever. And everything is just really silly and really funny, and it really isn't. But to them, it's just so funny. And that's another indicator, that your emotions are off. You're not responding in the right way. Another thing that can happen is that you're sick often. As I said, when you're asleep, your immune system gets to recharge, rebuild. It emits the proteins and the hormones that it needs to keep, the free radical cells at bay. But if it's not allowed to produce those hormones, then your immune system is going to be depleted. It doesn't get to regenerate. It doesn't get to resupply itself, to fortify itself. And so your immune system is down, and if you don't get enough sleep, you're often sick. In fact, I think people who don't get enough sleep are 3 times as likely to get sick than people who do get enough sleep. In addition to your immune system being weakened, your eyesight, all of your organs, everything starts to get compromised. But particularly your eyesight. Your eyes need that close time, that downtime to regenerate. The muscles need to rest. Your eyes are functioning every day, all day long. Even when you think they're not absorbing information, it's taking in information. You'd be surprised the information that it takes in. Our eyes let us know actually the hour of the day, and also trigger in our brain when it's time to go to sleep by the amount of light that it receives and filters through. So, these are all very technical functions, but these are things that are going on, as I said, regardless of whether we're aware of them or not. And so, when your eyesight goes, when you start getting that double vision or the blurriness lines, the little watery lines, or you start seeing spots, that's your eyes telling you that not only is your body tired, but the eyes that receive all the information are extremely tired. Another indicator that you're sleep deprived is your skin. Again, when you're sleeping, your body organs are able to cycle through and function the way that they're supposed to. They're able to, your pores are able to function and operate the way that they're supposed to. Toxins are able to be released from your body the correct ways. But when you don't get enough sleep, all of those toxins, everything inside of your body is out of whack, is out of commission, and it reflects on your skin. When you don't get enough sleep, your skin cells are not able to regenerate, and the result is that you'll have a dull gray looking skin. Wrinkles start to form. You get the bags under your eyes, the darkness under your eyes, and things like that. And those are all indicators of not enough sleep. That's what beauty rest is all about. It's about allowing your body a few minutes to regenerate. Collagen that is needed for our skin suppleness is also produced while we're asleep. So when you reduce the amount of hours that your body is able to sleep and perform its functions, you reduce the outward appearance, you reduce the results of it as well. So collagen has a lot to do with our skin looking good, looking healthy. Another indicator that you may be sleep deprived is if you nod off. I had a discussion just the other day with someone who was telling me that that they had read somewhere that it's not really necessary to get 7 hours of sleep, because our bodies know what it needs, and our bodies are going to take what it needs. So basically, when our bodies are tired, it's going to just shut down, and that is true. And when you nod off like that, when you do that kind of thing, that's called a micro nap. And yes, it is your body's way of forcing a rest, a momentary rest. It is dangerous. And why anyone would want their body to just shut down on itself to get the rest it needs is beyond me. I see it as like driving a car without a gas gauge, because you figure, well, the car will stop when it needs gas. It'll stop on its own. And yeah, it's going to stop on its own, but where? Imagine now that your body decides that after 3 days of getting 2 hours sleep at night, that it's going to just shut down and take a quick momentary nap. But you happen to be driving home from work. You're in the middle of the highway, you're on your way home from work, and your body just decides to nod off. Not very safe at all. In fact, it's dangerous not just to yourself, but to everyone around. So rather than force your body to get the rest that it needs, why not just give it the rest that it needs? The recommendation again is 7 to 10 hours for adults. It's 9 to 11 hours for teens, and 12 to 16 hours for infants and small children. And again, it's not a punishment. It's not going to hurt you. Sleeping is something that is very necessary for your body. It's like water. It's like air. Without the sleep, your body is not going to function at optimal. I mean, yes, it can get by, and people often do because of lifestyle. They have to work. Some people have 2 and 3 jobs that they have to work. But the important thing to realize is that sleep is the most important thing that you can give to your body, in addition to water and in addition to eating healthy. You have to give it rest. Without rest, you have nothing. Your body will just burn out. It'll just burn itself out. So that was basically it. I just wanted to share a couple of indicators of whether or not you may be sleep deprived or someone that you know. Again, if you've liked my video, please like it, share, subscribe to my channel. It's important that you share this information because, like I said, I think a lot of people just don't take care of their bodies well enough because they don't know enough about their bodies. And if you have a topic that you'd like me to explore, leave a comment down below. I reply to all of my comments. And thank you again for watching, and blessings.